Haul truck warming up. Excavator warming up. Back on the pond project. John's down there on the bulldozer getting started. And yeah, it's cold. He burnt that stuff a couple of weeks ago. It's still smoldering a little bit. He's going to go in there and strip the pond dam off. I'm going to go out there and cut the spot of the dam out where it's broke. And we're going to start digging a borrow pit up here to get the clay to fix it and haul all the mud up here. Alright, he got the dam bladed off here. I'm going to run down here with the excavator to the area where the old standpipe was, where it's been cut in half, and dig all that mud and everything out, because what we've got to do is get good dirt from the borrow pit, some good compactable clay, and bring it down here for this, and then obviously all this mud's going to go back in that hole, and we'll use the extra dirt. Obviously we got a whole lot more mud than dirt I'm going to need to fill in this cut right here, and we're going to widen the dam out a little bit on the back and some on the front, just kind of make it a little bit more wider than what it is now. So here is the area in the pond dam that is broke. I'm going to start skimming out all the grass and mud. And what I probably need to go ahead and do is just go ahead and cut a core trench in here, and so we can go ahead and put our clay back. Mud first. So I can go ahead and back the truck back down in here and start filling this back up, because pretty much what I've got to do is fill this in with clay to be able to get my road back across and have a spot to dump all this stuff. Pretty muddy. I threw up some dirt there to stop the runoff from up through there coming down here. I'll probably scoop all this mud out and then pull this back so that I can ramp it down in there, get that taken care of. There's really no need to dump a bunch of dirt up here and still have no access to get down in here. I think that's the best plan. Scoop the mud out, build a ramp in there, cut the core, go from there. So I cleaned out the ditch and cut this slope down some, kind of cutting a little bit of a core trench, and what that is, it's just cleaning it out down through original ground, so that when you put the dirt back, you're not creating a seam. Say, as all the years that washed some sand through there, well, if you just put dirt right on top of that sand, what would happen is as the pond filled up, it would hit that layer of sand, and that water would just seep right directly under the pond dam. So you've got to go through here and dig it out like I'm doing and get it down to a good original solid ground, or 2 or 3 feet below it, whatever really works out. I just kind of, I can look at it and tell when it's good enough. left is good enough and to the right is not good enough. That's why I'm still digging it out. And what I'm going to do is pull that dirt down, kind of track it in a little bit, and then get on that side and cut that back, just so it's a nice ramp in here, and the dump truck can kind of drive through here and pack it in and be able to dump over there as well. And I'm not putting the dirt in here right here on a vertical wall. I have hit some sort of groundwater hole or something. That stuff is pouring in. Huh. But it's not like we're backing up the Hoover Dam here. We're only backing up about an acre of water, so it's not a tremendous pond dam. And it's going to start filling up rather fast. I mean, I already got a good little puddle. Where's all this water coming from? Pocket there or something. Alright, well I got that cleaned out pretty good. Now I'm going to pull some of this clay down right here. Wall of clay. At least it's dry and dusty, that's a good sign. Sit here and pack it with the back. Then on the next lift I'll be able to track it through there. Alright, let me pack this and I'll go ahead and get that ramped up and start moving dirt here. Alright, I got the pond dam V'd out now and tracked in, so we can now start bringing our dirt down here, backing it in here with the dump truck and getting it put in place. So I'm going to track over here to the field where I'm going to dig the pit to get our good clay from, start loading the truck and letting them bring it down here. So we stripped all the grass off this little section of field, and we're going to be digging a borrowed pit right here along the tree line, getting our good clay to fix the pond. We'll bring all the mud and everything that was laid up out of the pond back up here to fill the hole in. That way it'll keep some nice topsoil up here for the hayfield, so it'll just all blend back together when I'm done. It appears the mud's winning. Scratch that pond dam off a little bit better. Still a little slick, it looks like. Looks like you got into a stump hole over there. Pull the truck out and then cut a little groove. What it is the ground's really hard and it's got slimy mud on top of it. And between that and the sun directly in the mirrors, you can't see. That truck weighs so much, once it gets to sliding, it just ends up over there. So what I'm going to do is cut a little, we'll flatten the top of the dam off so that there's like a little bit of a crown on top of it, and that should keep the truck from sliding. Let's go ahead and throw some of that in there. In case he ends up back in that hole, it'll at least be a drier material. just skim it down and kind of flatten it up a little bit, and with it being rougher, it'll have a little more traction to start with, and it'll get some ruts started, and then the truck will stay put. Vein of clay here, so it should be pretty easy digging. I just don't know how deep I can go. It looks like I'm go down about 6 or 8 feet and it starts turning into a different material. Mix all the layers together, trying to keep the consistency all the same. Out more dirt. Probably maybe this one and one more, then I'll have to go down there and rake in the new lift, track it in, then he runs over with the truck. Tell the nice red clay puts in a nice pretty lift to the pond dams. I'm going to come down here with the excavator. We got about 6 or 7 loads dumped out. Rake this out, track it in, let him roll it in. And about probably 2 more should get us pretty close to grade. Dirt doesn't quite go as far once you start coming up a little higher in elevation, because obviously it gets wider. once you get to a point, then it starts getting a little bit smaller. Pull some of this dirt back. I don't know exactly why we got it dumped way over here. I don't really need it. Over there, so all that's got to come out. Fill in, so I got that tracked over. You'll run the truck over it. We'll put some more dirt on it, and probably one more lift should get it level enough to take it on over there. So stripping the topsoil off the other side of the pond dam, on the other side of the trench that we filled in. That way the dump truck can drive down here and get pretty much the wet topsoil off the top. Leveling it out, throwing it on the back side of the dam, and we will pretty much build our road, dump some clay in here, and we'll have a nice road in then to haul out all the mud that I piled up along the shoreline last time I was here. Pretty much it. We'll spread that dirt out and go ahead and start loading out that mud and taking it up there to the borrow pit. What I've got to do is get all the dirt I need for the dam so that I can start dumping have a place to dump the mud. I would like the mud out first, but if you don't have a place to dump it, it doesn't really matter. Got a pretty good sized pit dug. We're going to stop digging for a little bit and run down here and grab some of this mud and start bringing it up here and putting it into the pit and filling it in some. Then I'll kind of be able to judge how much is left to how much more I need to dig out to make it all fit. Alright, I'm going to grab what was left of this fire pile. There's not a whole lot left. Get it put down into the pit. I can mix a little mud in with those ashes, calm them down a little bit. dusty. I probably should have scooped that up, not pinched it. That wasn't a very smart move, was it? We'll get on the other side of the wind. We're gonna mix some mud in with that. I'm not dealing with dust. Got too much mud over here to be dusting myself out. Evidently the dump truck didn't like my ramp. It won't come out. Evidently that dirt's a lot wetter than I was expecting. That hole doesn't look that big, did it? You put the truck in there. Boy, it sunk right on down, didn't it? Huh. I have to cut a little bit better ramp out. Well, that didn't work like anticipated. Dirt was that wet down there. Push out 5 extra tons of stuff. Don't really like being this close to the edge of the hole. Say that's probably not going to be the best idea. He's probably just going to have to pull up here and dump in there then. Well darn. Trying to keep from tearing up the field so bad. Loading out mud now. Glad the ground's holding up the weight of the truck and all this. It's a little slick on top from the rain we had yesterday, but all in all, it's not sinking out of sight. That's always a good thing. A lot more to go. Load of mud going out, so we're driving up there on top of the hill and dumping off into the hole. So far it's working. But starting to come down here and load out all this mud that I stacked up along the pond dam. It's now dried out some, and putting it in the truck, dumping it in the hole, and then we'll dig some more dirt from there and put it on the pond dam like we did on that half. Last load for today, heading out. So good productive day today. Got that much mud out. The pond dam, some dirt put back in that, and all that dirt dumped over there. So looks like a bomb went off, but it's an organized bomb, and once it's all graded out, it'll be nice and pretty. So I'm gonna go up here and fuel up for tomorrow, and we'll probably finish hauling that mud out in the morning and cut some more dirt and put it right here.